Let me tell you what I saw in Georgia this week, specifically Atlanta and the surrounding areas. I saw the monks walking on their peace walk. They're walking from Texas to Washington, D.C. for peace. Now, this video is not about religion, but this is a video about framework and the mindset. You saw the title, The Monk Mindset, Discipline Over Noise. Now, I saw a lot or a true example of noise this week from a lot of different people going for the photo ops, for the whatever they were doing. But what I saw was from the monks was a consistency since they started, and I'm sure it's going to hold through to the end of their journey. Now, here's what those monks understand that most people chasing their pivot don't. They have a persistent witness. They show up every day. That's what you have to do. You have to show up every day. Whatever your pivot is, you've got to show up. No ifs, ands, buts about it. You have to show up. They have a physical commitment to work. They have a physical commitment to walk. You got to have a physical commitment to work. You've got to get out there and you've got to do it. There's no question. You got to do it. I think that the monks have, I think they have their sights set on the long game. Not necessarily, they don't have any attachment to immediate results. Hear me clearly, the long game is where they are effective at. Now, the monk's mindset, it's not about having it figured out. It's about walking anyway. Those monks walking through Georgia now and through the next states on their trek to DC, they don't have it figured out. They don't know if it's going to stop one war. They don't know if anyone truly understands what they're doing or why they're doing it. They're not walking because they've arrived. They're walking because the walk itself is the work. Excuse me, I'm drinking coffee. I like coffee. Let me fix my microphone. They're walking because the walk itself is the work. The monk mindset says the delivery you're making right now, everything that you're doing right now for your pivot is the peace walk. In my situation, as far as my logistics company is concerned, every rate sheet that I refine, every time I show up certified, professional, and on time, that's my drum beat. That's your drum beat. That's your chant. Every time that you're doing something that you're supposed to be doing, forget all the noise. That's your drum beat. March to your drum so that you can get there. In my situation, I don't need to know that if next year my company will be a $1 million business. If I don't need certainty that I will get that next contract, I don't need to see, you don't need to see the whole staircase. You just got to walk. You just got to do it. You got to take the next step and then the next. Here's what the monk mindset offers when you're still figuring it out: permission to not have answers. I think monks spend decades of practicing and never arriving, because we do know they follow peace. And again, this is not a video on religion or religious belief. Now, I believe in Jesus Christ and I do believe in peace. And I know what I believe and I stand on what I believe. And I need you to also. Now, this this is a faith-based channel, so I'm going to talk about my faith. I'm going to talk about Jesus Christ. Your pivot is not supposed to be figured out in 90 days. Plain and simple. It's just not. The pressure to have it all mapped out is the noise. It's a framework that you got to have when everything is chaotic, when the finances are not there, when the kids are not acting right, when the job is not going correctly, when you're trying to figure out the transportation situation, the housing situation, whatever you may be going through. What's the right next step? That's the question. What's the right next step? Not the right next 10 steps. Just one. In my case, with the logistics company, make the delivery, send the email, update the website. One step. Those photo op people in Atlanta are performing peace. You're not performing entrepreneurship. You're not performing relationships. You're not performing careers. You're building it in real time with real stakes, real pressures, real bills. One thing about the monks, they don't compare their walk to anybody else's, and neither should you. The discipline to keep moving when results are slow, this is a big one. Monks walk for years before seeing any impact. I'm talking to you, but I'm relating this stuff to me because I'm talking to myself too. I don't only do these videos, but I go back and look at these videos because some of the stuff that I say, I need it for myself. If you can't eat your own food, then what good is it? Whatever you're doing, whatever your pivot is, whatever you're striving to do, whatever deliveries I make, you may do it for months before you come into sustainability. But you got to keep walking. The discipline isn't about forced results. It's about refusing to quit between planting and harvest. Here's what that looks like. For me, when I'm sitting in because I'm starting my business in my SUV. When I'm sitting in my SUV between deliveries, watching my bank account, wondering if I should have stayed in the film industry. Well, in my situation, it's not necessarily if I should have stayed in. It's just slow right now. I'll get another show. Ultimately, I want to add that to what I'm doing, or vice versa. But wondering if it's enough, if I should have went a different route. Even though the film industry is slow right now, the monk mindset for me, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. The discomfort is part of the walk. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. So I just got to keep stepping. When one of the companies that I signed on to, when they pay me and I feel like it's not enough yet, or waiting on vendor approvals that I feel are never going to come or never going to complete themselves, my monk mindset says to me, I don't need to see the finish line. You don't need to see the finish line. You need to honor today's route. Again, guys, I'm telling you, I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me, talking to you. You got to be able to eat your own food, right? Let's talk about the noise for a minute. The noise says figure it out faster, prove it's working, show results, get the win, post the success. The monk mindset says walk again, trust the accumulation of steps that you can't see adding up yet. You are not behind. You are not failing because you haven't figured it out yet. You're in the middle of the walk, the hard middle. Boy, when I tell you that middle is hard sometimes, it's hard. Comment down below if it's hard or if you've been in that hard middle before. That hard middle, that's where most people quit because there's no applause, no validation, no proof it's working. So people just quit because of the noise. We want it now. We want to hear it now. We want the praise now. We want the trips now. We want the kids moving now. We want the job recognizing now. We want the business blowing up now. We want the relationship amazing now. The monk mindset, walk, rest, walk again. I know you might not be trying to hear this right now. And then again, maybe you are, but you got to just walk. When I think about this stuff for myself, and I feel like even though I'm just starting out, I kind of feel like I'm in the hard middle because I didn't see myself in this situation right now at 52. But when I think on it, when I think back on it, I think that, I do have my certifications, my HIPAA, my bloodborne pathogens, my TWIC card. I do have my credentials. I do have my vehicle that runs, my SUV that runs, that's mobile. I do have 24/7 availability because I'm committed to what I'm doing. I do have a business structure. I do have rate sheets. I do have active vendor applications in process. You're planting seeds now. You have stuff in place. You've gotten together the things that you need to get together. Don't quit between the planting and the harvest. The monk mindset, walk. I do have 2 YouTube pages that I'm building, and I'm building followers. If some of you may not know, I have a motorcycle page that's monetized. I'm working to get this page monetized. My motorcycle page is Views on Twos. Views on the number 2S. If you'd like to check it out, if you're a motorcycle enthusiast, please go over and check that out. But I'm active on both channels, and I'm trying to grow both channels. I'm trying to make something of myself. I'm trying to be there. I'm trying to get out there and really make a footprint for me. Walk, rest, walk. One thing that I do suggest, you got to stop judging by the noise standards. The monks walk in silence. It's everybody around them that bring the noise. If you're over 50, pivoting and feeling like you're supposed to have it more figured out by now, you're measuring yourself against Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and whatever else platforms that you may be watching. Not against monks. Monks don't figure it out. And don't get me wrong, there's other people that are doing things. Monks has just been the topic of the news press this week here in Atlanta. Monks don't figure it out. Monks walk it out, just like you, one step at a time. So for me, for every unglamorous delivery that I make, for every contract application that's ignored, for every video that gets 47 views instead of 47,000 views, that's the walk. Stop waiting for charity. Start honoring the steps. Now, as always, I always try to leave you an example or a story. And all these stories are stories as I see them and I tell them. My dad, for years, my dad left our house in the morning and went to a whole nother house before he went to work. He went to that house. He had the key to that house. He went in that house. He cooked breakfast. He fed the person that was there. He went to work. He came back at lunch, sat with the person, made sure that they were good, and then he went back to work. Oftentimes he would go back. If he didn't make it for lunch, often he would go back for dinner before he went home. Some people don't understand, how could one man do this? Leave his house and go to another house. Well, there was something special about the house that he went to. That house that he went to was Mr. Norman. Mr. Norman had to be about this tall, man. My dad took me over there a couple times. If you guys remember, he used to love the Luden's cough drops. He used to suck on them like candy. And when Mr. Norman walked, he used to shuffle his feet. But Mr. Norman's daughter, his daughter or his sister, she lived in New York and we lived in North Carolina. My dad was the superintendent of the housing authority, so he had keys to everybody's house, literally. But my dad took care of Mr. Norman for years. My dad would go over to Mr. Norman's house. He would fix Mr. Norman breakfast. He would make sure he had some lunch if he wasn't coming back for lunch. And then he would go back at dinner time before Dad came home, and he would fix Mr. Norman something to eat. Now, my dad had been doing this for years. My dad is gone now. So is my mom. My dad had been doing this for years. What that showed me, I met Mr. Norman probably, I was in my early teens, if that. I might have been 10 or 11. But what that showed me back then was a humility that my dad didn't care about noise. My dad didn't care about who saw what he was doing. My dad went over and made sure that Mr. Norman was good every day. He even went on the weekends when he would leave the house. If he didn't have anywhere to go, he would still go to Mr. Norman's to make sure that Mr. Norman was okay. My dad didn't need all the noise. He just did it. In my eyes, my dad was a great man. You don't need all the noise. You don't need for people to see what you're doing. You don't need to be seen. Just walk the walk. Take one step, then take another step, then take another step. If you made it to this point in the video, I want to say thank you. I appreciate you. My name is Tim. This is Faith in the Pivot After 50. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and even hit that share button. That bell is for you to get notifications when I post new videos. I appreciate you. Thank you. Until next time.